Hi, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. I wanted to talk for just a few minutes today about women and preparedness. Now, this isn't going to be about women after an SHTF or a collapse or anything like that. I think that's a very interesting topic in and of itself, and I'll probably do one on that later on. It'll probably have to be a little more extensive than this, but I wanted to talk a little bit today just about what I have found about women and their attitude now towards preparedness. And I've been really surprised. I wasn't really aware of women being particularly interested in preparedness until I wrote the first book, The Reversion. And when it came out, of course, I ordered a bunch of author copies from the company and handed them out to some friends and things like that, and of course the guys, I expected them to, and they did. They all come back, oh man, I love it, this was just great, this is just what we talk about, it's what I wondered about this, and a lot of times I'd get books back, where they'd come back and bring me their book, and it was had a bunch of underlinings and question marks and comments and things like that, and which was great. I kind of course, I gave them also to women that we know, just more or less to be polite, and I never expected them to read the books really, or to be at all interested in them. I figured most of them would get to about the second chapter, and after that, put a plant on them, to soak up the water. But I was really surprised, because all of a sudden women, and quite a few, were coming to me and telling me how much they liked the book, and I was amazed. I have to. So I was, obviously there was a big slice of this world that I was unaware of, and that's probably fodder for still yet another video. But the women came to me, and they were just about as enthusiastic as the guys, and they said how much they loved them, and they talked about their favorite characters and their favorite scenes, and I tell you, some of the women were more bloodthirsty than the guys, and that's really not a surprise to me, but and probably not to most of you either. I see we have a wind kicking up here, so we might want to stabilize that camera. Yeah. That's just so that we won't have to jump in with an edit, because out here it's another really good sunny day here, and I think I'm going to call all these Sundays because I'm so sick of the rain, until I get more used to them. Anyway, the women really surprised me with how interested they were, their depth of understanding, and I don't at all mean that in a derogatory or a diminishing way. It's just that I never thought that they would be that interested in it, but they were, and they had a depth of understanding that equaled the guys, in most areas. I mean, in except in the guns and things like that, really. But in other ways, it was sometimes they even had a deeper understanding. When I started having reviews come in on Amazon, of course. And I didn't even know how to check reviews. I never thought about it until my wife told me, hey, you have some reviews. You have, another 5-star review, and you have that's not the way she talks. She talks very sweetly. And so I'd start reading those, and again, I was amazed at how many of the very detailed, especially 5-star reviews came from women. I mean, I thought, I don't know what the percentage was, but I joked that I wondered whether I was really a romance novelist, because I seem to have so many women responding with such depth of understanding and appreciation for the material. So something was going on, obviously, that I didn't, and I appreciate that for any of you all who happen to be watching this. I don't answer reviews on Amazon. Some of you have been nice enough to email me, and I've really enjoyed your emails. But thank you all so much, the ones who've given me such such nice reviews on this. Well, anyway, it got me thinking about women and preparedness, and where things are right at this point, where we're living nice lives, everything's going along very well. So I would start asking the women that I know, or the women that would email me, why exactly are you interested? What particularly piques your interest in preparedness and survival? And the answer probably shouldn't have surprised me at all. And it was simply a matter of, as I've talked about a couple of times, I think I've referenced this, it was a matter of a feeling of responsibility. We fathers, we have our fatherly feelings of responsibility, and so do mothers, and they're very much alike. They make there's a little bit of difference there. Fathers, we look at it as providing and protecting, certainly. Mothers do also. We may look at it, maybe fathers look to the guns first, right? We're looking at those things out there in the world that are posing immediate and violent threats to our family. But mothers also, from the time that they're very young, we look at it as protective. Mothers look at it as nurturing, and by no means do I mean that mothers aren't protective and fathers can't be nurturing. Although I think there are occasions when that could be stepped up a little bit. But even though the reasons for it were pretty much the same, the specifics of it were slightly different. And many of the women told me that they loved the fact that there were books out there like this, because I really do I really do get into the relationships and things like this, and I try to get into the personalities and the emotions and such as that. It's not all shoot 'em up, bang bang. We have a lot of beans kind of thing. But that they were happy that there was a book out there that seemed to address an SHTF situation in a fairly comprehensive manner, and I just realized how that might have sounded. I'm not trying to bang bang my books up at the expense of any others. They just happened to find that interesting, and they appreciated it, and I appreciated that. So my wife is she's not as into preparing as I am. It's not her thing. But she does understand it. She comes at it from a different standpoint, a different aspect. She understands it. She is pitches in and does a part, and actually she keeps track of. And her concern is with world situations, probably a little bit more than mine, because I'm 65, right? I've had it up to here ever since I was old enough to watch the news. I've seen the kind of bull that they're trying to sling at us to make us, feel one way or another and control our emotions and get us all hyped up either to go to war or do something else. And it kind of goes off my back like a rain off a duck sometimes. And I watch it just to find clues, but my wife really kind of keeps track of it, and that's good. She lets me know. I can say what happened in the news today, who's being an idiot today more than they were yesterday. She'll fill me in, so that's good. I know that if everything came apart, she would be right there and fulfilling that very important need that she needs to, just like she does now before a collapse. Many other women, on the other hand, I find it interesting that they are more interested and more involved in preparedness than their husbands. And in some of those situations, I've seen a great deal of frustration on their part because they can't get their husband to stop watching a football game or to stay home from playing golf and really start listening to them and taking them seriously about their concerns and what could happen. And boy, I tell you, you women who are like that and fighting that battle, I applaud you. Way to go. Keep at it. Just keep hammering. And hey, if the old man just wants to keep on sitting on his butt and watching the other grown men that he doesn't know play with a ball, do your own thing and if it ever happens, he'll be thanking you, right? And you'll have the opportunity for that all in all, I told you so moment. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of address that because I've always found that just fascinating. How many women I discovered are really interested in preparedness. And just as I applaud the men who are, I applaud probably even more the women who are, because it's just not traditionally thought of as a woman's domain. So kind of for you guys who are, whether you're married or have girlfriends, I hope your wives are on board with this. For you guys who maybe aren't hooked up yet, realize there's a lot of women out there. I'm not here trying to be a matchmaker, but this might be one of those things that you put in your little bag of must-haves, as you're getting to know somebody, and how they, if you're really into this, you don't want to be mismatched with somebody who just thinks you're an idiot, right? So again, it comes down to once again, we find how much more alike we are than different, and we are different. Men and women are different. There's anybody that tries to argue against that, hey, I'm not even going to discuss that, but there's a lot in common, and working together, we get a whole lot more done than we do either individually, and certainly if one partner is kind of dragging their feet or even pulling in the other direction. So kudos to you women who are in this interest of ours, and for you guys who are lucky enough to have one of them, way to go, you picked the right one. And I'm going to go get some of this sunny day. So remember, we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, and you have a good day today. See you later. Bye-bye.